Hi, welcome to Magic Number Video. I'm Ricki Stevenson, and today on Magic Number Video we're going to be talking to Phillip Bailey. He's just introduced his new album, Continuation. Now, you may not know the name, but I bet you know the voice. Phillip Bailey has been co-lead vocalist with the group Earth, Wind & Fire for the past 12 years. Phillip, thank you for joining us on Magic Number Video. Fire, as you call it, for 12 years. What prompted you to do a solo album?
For one, you figure that over the past 12 years, a lot of people have been familiar with the sound, and you know, and have mimicked it and sung with the songs that we've sung and everything, but really not familiar with where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. And so that was one reason that I decided to do an album, so that people become more familiar with just where the sound of Earth, Wind & Fire, vocally, you know, I've been a very intricate part of the group, that kind of like a ghost, you know, and to some extent, you know, unless you're really into the band and you're, you know, live, you really identify with what's going on, and then you kind of piece that together with the albums and all that kind of stuff. And then plus that, I wanted to grow and get a chance to stretch out a little bit more.
Was it difficult for you to say, hey guys, I want to do an album by myself?
No, because everybody wanted me to do it.
Did some of the group take part?
Well, no, they didn't. We did a couple songs, me and Larry and Verdine, but that we didn't use, but they were very supportive. They were very supportive, and Maurice has always really encouraged everybody to do things outside the Fire, you know, and grow artistically, because then when we come back together, it gives us more to bring back to the group, actually. Earth,
Wind & Fire has been together 12 years, and that's longer than a lot of relationships last. What's been the cement that's kept you together?
First, I would have to say that God is the cement that really has kept us together, because we are all very strong believers in God and in His divine intervention and just really directing your life, and then the fact that we have some very unique individuals in the group, in which it's a good chemistry, you know, that everyone kind of blends together very, very well. And with any relationship, there's a lot of give and take, and there's ups, there's downs, there's successes, there's failures, but at the same time, when people realize what their whole purpose is as a whole for being there, I think that's the important thing. And we tend to try to keep in focus beyond and above all the other complications that there might be, the whole reason for why we're doing what we're doing. And that is that Earth, Wind & Fire is 9 individual members, but together there's a magic. There's something that happens that actually none of us are really responsible for, but all of us are, you know? And we know that that only happens when it's all together. And people, that's what people like. That's what they see. That's what they can't really put their hands on. There's a magic that happens when we're together, and when we get on stage, and when we do things and the vibes are right and we're all going the same direction, there's something that happens. And I think that by us realizing that, that has really been the main catalyst that has kept us cemented and kept us in focus to the extent that we really want to be there.
Okay, we've talked about your new album, we've talked about Earth, Wind & Fire, but who is Phillip Bailey? Where were you born? What was your musical training, your experience as a young man? Tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, for myself, I'm from Denver, Colorado, and most people ask, they say, I didn't know there's any black people in Denver. But I've always been fascinated by music from a small child. My mother said I was actually singing before I was walking, and I always just had a very natural knack for music and playing, and I grew up playing drums and singing, so when I wasn't singing, I was playing or doing both. And started bands at a very young age and played up through the clubs like most musicians do, and got married very young after high school. And
still with the same woman?
Still the same woman. Met her in elementary school. And
children?
4 beautiful children. and became very successful at a very young age and made a lot of mistakes, went through hell and high water at a point when you think people would be the happiest because of a lack of experience, because of a lack of growth, but an enormous amount of responsibility. And through that whole experience, I became born again, and my life was totally changed after 1975. And the phone began to ring, and and we just actually, it's been a continual growing process that I want my music to just be an expression of what I really am, and I want people to really enjoy it because I know that that's the gift that God has given me, and I'm just fortunate to be able to make a living at it, and I don't want to do anything else.
Will we see more solo efforts?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a continual thing. And I'm glad the first one's finished, so now that I can really get into it, it's like getting the jitters off, you know.
All right.
But I'm glad about the reception that I've had on the record and looking forward to doing many more albums.
Phillip, thank you for joining us on Magic Number Video. And thank you for joining us on Magic Number Video. You can look for Phillip Bailey's new album, Continuation, and you can look for him to continue with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm Ricki Stevenson.
We'll be right back with more great music from Magic Number Video, bringing you featured artist number 2 and music from Phillip Bailey's album Continuation. Stay tuned.